Hello friends, welcome back to Azure 204 Lab 3 Exercise 4. Okay, so here is the lab scenario, and we have already covered exercise 1, exercise 2, and 3 as well. Now, as part of this video, we'll work on exercise 4. Okay, let's go to the instructions page. So here we are. Now, exercise 4, what it says that you need to retrieve blob URI by using the .NET SDK. And task 1 is to enumerate the blobs in the existing container by using the SDK. Okay, so it's more about the coding. So we'll talk about the code first. So first thing is that in your program class, you need to go and create a new function. So I'll copy the code from here and then I'll go to the and in the end I will put a new function here. Okay, save. Now let's go back to the browser. So it says in the enumerate blob async method, the one we just created, enter the following code to get a new instance of blob container client class by using the get blob container client method of the blob service client class. Okay, by passing the container name. So we'll just copy this particular line. We'll go back to the VS Code and here we'll add the new piece of code, new line. Control S. Let's go back to the browser. Now next step is to in the enumerate blob async method enter the following code to render the name of the container that will be enumerated. So it will print the container name. Okay. So let's go back to the VS Code. So here we'll add the line which will print the container name. Next is in the enumerate blob async method enter the following code to create an asynchronous for each loop that iterates over the results of an invocation of the get blob async method of the blob container client. So we just need to add this particular for each loop. Okay, so let's go to the VS Code. So we are going to add the for each loop here. Okay, Control S. Let's go back to the browser. Now in the for each loop we need to add this particular piece of code that will print the name of each blob which is there in the container. Okay, so I'll put the line here, Control S. So this is here is our new method which will iterate through all the containers and it will get and print the blobs which are there in the container class, in the container, sorry. Next step is just to verify that your new method, it should look something like this. So we are good. Now in the main method, we need to create a new property. In the new property and value should be this one. So if you guys remember, this is our container name. Okay, registered as graph. So I'm just going to add a new property inside the main method. Here I'll put this one, string existing container name rest graphics. Now we need to write a code to invoke this particular method in our main method. Okay, so what I will do is I'll go back to the now it says step 8 in the main method enter the following code at the end of the method to invoke the newly created method enumerate blob async method. Okay, so I'll simply copy this one. Now so here I will paste the new method. So we are going to call and we are passing two parameters. One is service client, another one is existing container name. Okay, now let's go back to the browser. Now we need to save the program and we just need to run the program just to see the output. It says that observe the output from the currently running console application. The updated output includes metadata about the existing container and blobs. Okay, so let's go and run the program. So here is our terminal. I'll simply clear first. Now I'm going to run the program .NET. The command is .NET run. It says build fail. An object reference is required for the non-static field. existing container. Okay, but I think we created this particular variable. It's here. Or it should go inside the main method. So I'll put this new variable inside the main method, control S. Now I'll run the program .NET build first. There are no errors. Now let's run the program .NET run. Okay, so everything looks good now. Now it says here is your storage account details. Here we printed the containers, and if you see here, this guy is looking for something. It's looking, iterating the raster graphics, and it found there is one image. There is one blob in this particular container. Okay, so that is what we want to do. So our program is working perfectly fine. Okay, so task 2 is to create a new container by using the SDK. So that will cover in the next video.